In an investor presentation, once you've identified the customer's hurt, need, or want, and you've identified how your business addresses that hurt, need, or want through delivery of some value proposition, now you need to elaborate upon exactly who is your intended customer, client, or end user. That is, what are the customer segments that you are going to seek to serve or address with your value proposition. Now, there are any number of types of people out there with differing characteristics that are going to want your product or service. But to the extent that you can group them, segment them based upon a defining characteristic that relates to why they are purchasing your product, you are going to be able to make the difficult decision of which group to target or focus on. Now, why do you need to target or focus on one segment above others? Well, generally you're trying to identify which segment has the strongest need, meaning it's going to be the easiest to sell to them, and they're likely going to want to offer more value in exchange for what you're offering. So you have to do a calculation in terms of what is the strength of need or want of a particular demographic group, and what is the size of that group. That is, how big is the group? If there's a lot of people with a very strong need, then it becomes very obvious this is likely the group you're going to target with your marketing efforts, with your development of a product, with the minimum viable characteristics to meet that need or want. But if you have a small group with a very strong need, you're going to have to compare that against the characteristics of a much larger group that have less of a need. That group with less of a need, it's going to be more expensive, more difficult to get their attention, to market to them. So you're going to have to compare these two and ask yourself, operationally, what am I capable of? Financially, what do I have the resources to address to begin with? Obviously, as a business grows, it will seek to address the needs or wants of multiple customer market segments. It may have multiple product or service lines that meet these customer, client, or end user needs in different ways. But all of this decision making, these determinations come down to a core understanding of who your markets are. You may have a better understanding of this because you're in the industry, because you're working this in every day. A third party, an investor who you are pitching to bring in money into your business, they need to understand very well who are these customer markets, who is in there, what is their characteristics, what makes them tick, why is your value proposition specifically meaningful or useful to them. If you can explain this and lay this out and connect it with your strategy as to which group you are targeting with your marketing, with your product development efforts, then once again, this will make it more likely that investors will understand and be interested in what you're doing as a business. So in summary, you're going to have to identify your market and explain the various characteristics that allow you to segment out different groups in your target market.